separate space, exactly as Anton says.
I'm thinking if anybody at home is thinking this is weird, OK, that these two here are living a strange life down in Devon, well, our Right Stuff relationship expert, divorce Dr Francine Kay, you may be astonished to learn, lives apart from her partner of what, 13 years?
13 years, yes.
Gary is your partner.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about or tried living together?
Well, we did think about living together, but
once, yeah.
when we got divorced, my children were 5 and 8, and Gary's were 8 and 13, and this was a very conscious decision that I made. I actually believed that I wanted to bring up my children the way I wanted to bring them up. I didn't want them to have any disruption. I certainly didn't want to be the Brady Bunch. I didn't want to be part of anybody else's family at all. I wanted to do it my way. And I felt also I wanted to give the children a sanctuary, you know, in their own home. And we just thought about it, and we knew that we wanted to be in a very committed relationship. Gary's daughter was very much a daddy's girl, and she also was very close to her father. So rather than push these children together, although financially it didn't make any sense at all to maintain separate homes, we've just carried on in a loving, committed relationship.
Are you afraid of cohabiting?
Not now.
No.
Not now. I was when the children were growing up, but now I'm not. And when the children do finally leave home, there won't be any reason for us not to. OK, and Nikki and Malcolm, would you be afraid of cohabiting again, even though you're married? Would it be something you would really not want to do?
I wouldn't say really not want to do, but it would build a little anxiety, yes. The two-door thing, I think, is the ultimate scenario, but, you know, I want the lot on my side.
Living next door to it, is the dream.
Yeah.
I'd go along with that.
Yeah.
You guys...
It's about having... Also, the other thing is that I love my own space, and Gary does as well.
And she's completely untidy. I couldn't live with her. And she's a bad cook.
This is something else that keeps bubbling through here.
Absolutely.
The myth that women are tidy and men are messy. I'm obsessively tidy.
But you've got more time to be tidy. We're busy doing things.
It's the intelligence thing again. I think
started it. Reading books.
Only thick people are tidy, is that what you're saying?
Thick people are tidy. Let's throw it open to you guys at home here, then. What do we make of couples that live apart that are clearly mad about each other? Amy? Would you entertain it, Amy? Would you be happy to have a partner, a long-term partner you didn't share a house with?
No, not really, no. I'm the opposite way. I like my own space, but I don't see the point of having a relationship if you're not going to be together physically every day.
But I can totally get, Nikki and Malcolm, that you can be in love and have... In fact, Francine, you're the expert. In love and having arguments.
Yes.
That's not a sign, is it, that a relationship is bad? Or...
No, not necessarily at all. Arguments can be extremely healthy. They're differing opinions. But, you know, if it gets to the stage where your values are so very different, he's tidy and she's not, or there are some real fundamentally different values between them, but they still love each other, ideal to live apart and maintain the relationship, because you're only going to go out and try and find somebody else anyway. So why not, you know, understand each other's values and stay in separate houses and keep this wonderful romance going? Because that is, I have to tell you, it is much more romantic.
OK, is sex better if you live apart?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you first of all, then I'm going to ask them.
I think so, because I think you have to make an effort. I think that you really do. You're much more diligent about your sex life. Much more.
OK, would you go along with that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, definitely.
My current girlfriend and I, we are not living together, and we've been together over a year now, and all my previous relationships going back about the last 15 years have involved cohabiting, and I'm definitely having a better time living apart. But there's
Because you get bogged down with all the day-to-day things, don't you? And every day, and like, you know, arguing about bills or space or mirror space.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I can't wait to see. I'm really excited about seeing it. And that's the thing that I think when you're cohabiting may go.
You know Desmond Morris, the behavioural expert, he has always said that he and his wife have had separate bedrooms all through their marriage, because he says sex should be an event and not just something where you kind of go, oh, well, as we're here, all right, then.
How's it with you, then, Jane? Is it an event?
I'm still a virgin.
A virgin mother. Amy, what do people say at home?
Our first caller is John on line 1.
Morning, John.
Hi, Matthew.
Morning. I'm very well, thanks. Do you do this living apart thing?
Yes, we're living apart just now. We've had to for financial reasons.
Well, it's cheaper to live apart.
We've had to live apart because of financial reasons.
Yeah, but how? How is it cheaper to live in two places?
Well, I'll tell you why, Matthew, is that my wife works, right? She works full-time, and we were both living in a flat together,
Right.
you know. But I can't get a job because I've got a criminal record.
Right.
You know, I can't get a job for love nor money. And in fact, I think I'm blacklisted. You know, it's getting harder and harder to get a job for anybody that's got a criminal record. And my wife was having to support me because I couldn't get money for the brew, you know, the dole.
Right.
Because my wife was working full time. So I had no money at all coming in. And my wife was getting fed up supporting me all the time. You know, it was all right at first, but then we just started arguing and all that. So we decided it was better to live apart. I could get dole money, and basically that's how it is. I can't get a job at all.
OK, and how has it affected the relationship?
Well, it's obviously it's had its effects on it, you know.
In a good way or a bad?
Sorry, Matthew?
In a good way or a bad way?
Well, we were arguing a lot because of the lack of money coming in, but I had to pay the bills, the rent, the council tax, everything else, and I wasn't contributing at all because I can't get a job.
Yeah, but what about the sex, though? Is that better when you're living apart? I'm sorry to keep going on about sex, but, you know, I like it to be an event, you know what I'm saying? Is it an event now?
Party pop.
Well, it's still going on, you know.
Well, that's something to be thankful for. It's still going on. John, thank you for the call. The last of the great romantics. Let's have another.
We've got another one who thinks it's a great idea. It's
OK.
David on line 2.
David, good morning.
Good morning, Matthew. How are you?
I'm very well. So you're doing it at the moment?
I am, yeah. It's from a slightly different angle, though. I mean, I have to do it because I work offshore.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, David, hang on just one second. You children, you smutty children.
You just said you like sex. Are you doing it at the moment from a slightly different angle?
Sorry, David, sorry.
My mind is boggling.
It's a great event. Now, David, so why are you living apart then?
I work offshore at the moment, so I'm away sort of a month to sort of 6 weeks at a time, things like that. So, I mean, it's through necessity, obviously, rather than anything else, but I'd absolutely love the idea now.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, obviously, spend a month apart and you come back, you appreciate each other far more, there's no argument, there's you know what I mean, it's great.
I'll bet the sex is a huge event, isn't it, after that length of time?
Just a little bit. I mean, if you imagine it went a month, you know, not getting any then.
Yeah, no, I bet. And that enormous drill going down all day long must drive you mad.
On an oil rig with a couple of hundred men, do you know what I mean?
David, thank you very much for shedding light on that. Appreciate it. We've got to take a break. Before we do, though, a huge thank you to Nikki and Malcolm for joining us today. Really lovely to see you and for making all the effort coming up from Devon. And likewise, Francine and Gary. We'll see you, Francine, end of the month for another Divorce Doctor. And ladies and gents, your appreciation for this. Thank you. After the ads, your thoughts on it follows on quite nicely, perhaps. Touchy-feely fellas. Oh, I'm thinking about those oil rigs again, yeah. Blokes who just can't keep their hands to themselves. People like Anton, who's always hugging and kissing people. Are these touchy-feely fellas fun and affectionate or a pain in the butt? 0207 173 555 is the number for your thoughts. Touchy-feely fellas after the ads.
Men with touchy-feely dads will probably turn out touchy-feely themselves. Is that true or false? Answer after the break.